Good afternoon, everybody. It is May 24th, Friday. It is a beautiful day over here in southeastern Pennsylvania. Hopefully, it is a beautiful day where you are. So, this is this week's weekly word. I wanted to talk about a few very important things and changes as we come up to the end of the school year. I can't believe we are getting this close, but your last day is June 14th. And before that, June 7th is the last day grades are due. But we'll get to that in a second. I wanted to talk about, most importantly, next week's schedule. So let's take a look at that. Next week's schedule is going to look a little bit different. So you'll go to your daily plan like you always do, and you'll complete your daily plan. However, you'll see some of these boxes here that have these lines through them. Those lessons are skipped, okay? You are more than welcome to complete those lessons, but do not feel like you need to. Those lessons are skipped because we needed to make some adjustments to the daily plan so that you finish on time. Some of you might have looked ahead at some of your work that you had to do and realized that you had assignments going into the summer after the last day of school. So to make sure that all of your final lessons are in by the time that grades end on June 7th, we had to skip some lessons. So if you go to your daily plan, for instance, on Monday we don't have anything because that is Memorial Day. So you'll see there are no live sessions and there are no lessons. This is a great time to go back and work on any overdue lessons. If you have a couple minutes on Memorial Day, maybe take a half hour, work on some just to get you caught up. But then Tuesday, when you come back, if you look at, sorry about that, if you look at your daily plan, you'll see that Tuesday we have two different math lessons that are skipped. I think it's just those two math lessons. Don't do those math lessons first. I would start with your ELA, your handwriting, your vocabulary, your writing. Get all of those ELA ones done, and then you can go back and do some of the math ones if you need to. Do the science ones, do the stride. But any of those lessons that are skipped with that line through it, they are not going to generate an overdue lesson. So if you do not get to any of those skipped lessons during those days, you will not get an overdue. It will not count against you. So I think it will definitely be helpful for you to do those lessons, but it won't count against you if you don't. Does that make sense? If that doesn't make sense, please reach out with any questions next week and I'll be happy to answer them. All right, so again, that's just those ones, the circle and the line through them. All right, so end of the year testing. Thank you to those of you who have come in for some of the end of the year testing. We've really been starting with the math tests, and then going forward, we're going to be doing a couple different of reading tests. So I want to say there's 4 different more tests, but there's some of them will be very, very short. So just make sure that you are checking your schedules this week. I'm going to have your weekly schedule updated by homeroom on Tuesday. So after homeroom on Tuesday, check to make sure that you see when your testing is that week. And if you have any conflicts, please email me so I can get you in on a different day. So our last day of school for you on the 14th, it is a Friday. And I know that we normally don't meet on Fridays, but we have a pretty fun end of the year assembly at 9:30 in the morning. So that is going to be an elementary assembly across all 6 grades, kindergarten, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. So if you have siblings, they are invited to this assembly. Siblings in the elementary school, they're invited to the assembly as well. We'll have a bunch of fun activities planned. We'll be hanging out for about an hour together, saying goodbye and everything like that. So make sure you come. That'll be really fun. Important dates. I know we talked about this last week, but I want to talk about it again just so everybody's on the same page. There is no school on Memorial Day. That is Monday. You do not need to log in. Your attendance will not be captured for that day. There will be no new lessons on your plan, but you can always work on overdues or lessons that you didn't master. Remember, it's really important to try until you get that mastered lesson, or work ahead, get things done. Let's finish up this year strong. So even if you have 15-20 minutes to get something done, that'll help you going forward. The end of quarter four is June 7th. So even though we are in until the 14th, we're going to be doing a lot of fun stuff that week of the 14th. But June 7th is the last day to get our grades in. That is the last day for you to submit all of your unit checkpoints and complete all your work. So please make sure that all of your work is done on that day. Again, if you have any questions about that, please email me. And again, June 14th is the last day for students, and that will be the end of the year assembly. So please make sure that you're continuing to work hard, come to your required classes. You're really making that final push to end this year strong. This has been a great year so far. Let's have a great ending. And I will see you all next week. Enjoy your 3-day weekend. Oh, sorry, end of the year survey. I included this in the last newsletter, or a couple emails ago. But I have an end of the year survey that just kind of I ask about in the newsletter, and just what worked well for you, what would have worked better for you. So just a little bit of feedback to help me going into the next year from our learning coaches. So if take a minute when you get a chance and fill that out. If you have any questions, please email me. And now, of course, enjoy your 3-day weekend. I will see you Tuesday. Have a wonderful day.